All right, sir, we're just going to have you wait here. If I'm being honest with you, Dr. Cox is quite busy today. In the meantime, can you fill out this mental health evaluation?
Sure.
All right, someone will be back to help you shortly.
Wait, go back a page. You never get sad? You never get sad.
No, not really.
But everybody gets sad sometimes.
Not me, I guess.
Well, what's this one right here? Angry? You never get angry?
Sometimes, I guess. Not a whole lot of times, if I'm being honest.
You can't just mark neutral for all these things. This is a real test.
I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it. This is just my honest response.
That doesn't seem right to me. And I'm alright.
Hello there.
Hey, do I give this to you?
Sure. Sir, you have to answer honestly. You can't just mark neutral for everything.
Sorry, I'm just tired. I stare at a computer all day, so when I saw those questions, I just kind of shut down.
Well, it's fine, I guess. Just make sure to answer honestly next time.
Sure thing.
If he's not a medical professional, then why is he even talking in the first place? It's psych, you don't need a bachelor's degree to be able to read a paper. But what about all the jargon? Google it. Okay, but diagnosis features a lot of hypothesis testing.
I think anyone can Google what a p-value is.
To borrow a quote from Fight Club, we are a generation of men raised by women, which is in reference to how a lot of boys are raised by single mothers. But I feel that quote has shifted. We are a generation raised by the internet. Realistically, who is the one who taught you how to tie a tie, or get a job, or build a resume, or fix your car? The internet.
God, that's depressingly true.
Which brings me to my first topic, mental modes. According to Springer.com,
Why is he quoting a website?
emotional mental models, according to Springer, are basically expectations tied to an emotion. In other words, we have a mental framework of how the world should work and how it should look. But we as humans are constantly learning new things about the world. So when we are met with something that defies our framework, we compare it to our previous emotions and expectations and create an entirely new framework. This framework helps determine how we act and how we feel. So let's say that you, along with many other young people, grew up in an environment where you're constantly surrounded by the internet. And in a way, maybe your parents encouraged internet usage. Maybe they used it as a pacifier. I mean, for goodness sake, nowadays we see babies with iPads, or maybe as a teenager, your parents got you a new PC that you spent all of your time on, and as a result, your parents didn't have to take care of you and emotionally be available for you. But how does this affect a person's mental model? Perhaps it creates negative expectations of your life as news outlets disillusioned your view of the world. Perhaps social media has created this desperate longing for luxuries that you can't really obtain. Perhaps your self-isolation has created a negative bias towards social interaction. Perhaps you are someone who uses YouTube for self-help purposes, but in turn, the algorithm created an echo chamber where you view the same content that reflects your own beliefs, thus staying stagnant. There are a lot of negative aspects of internet usage, but the internet alone isn't the perpetrator of people's inability to feel. In fact, apathy has been a long explored topic, and in the 1970s, two men, John Case Nehemiah and Peter Emmanuel Sifneos, had coined a term for this specific type of apathy, alexithymia. The subject of alexithymia has only existed for about 50 years, and yet it seems prevalent to many people, both past and present. Like I said, this problem had existed long before the internet was around. So what are some of the causes? What exactly is alexithymia?
It took him 10 freaking minutes to reach his thesis. Why is he talking so slow?
For most of our answers, I'm going to turn to the following article, A History of the Alexithymia Concept and its Explanatory Models, an epistemological perspective.
Jesus, that's a long title. Academic sources are all like that. The title has to be self-explanatory, or else someone might waste time requesting the wrong article.
In it, it specifies that the cause of alexithymia could either be a problem with the brain or a result of poor mental models in childhood, like the one we looked at earlier. Various websites such as Psychology Today, Wikipedia, and Self somewhat corroborate with this view. They attribute alexithymia to various causes such as childhood trauma, neurological disorders, PTSD, depression, genetics, and autism.
Who the fuck cites Wikipedia?
But what exactly is alexithymia? According to Menaya and Sifneos, there were four main factors: difficulty in expressing or describing emotions, difficulty in distinguishing between feelings and bodily sensations, limited imagination and an inability to fantasize, especially about the future, and a utilitarian mindset. But the article also talked a lot about addictive behavior and how that may play a role in suppressing emotions.
Wait, so is addictive behavior a fifth factor then?
I think he means that it is, but just not according to Sifneos.
Well, that kind of makes sense then. You can't really process your emotions if you busy yourself with work or entertainment all day.
So why did so many people suffer from this condition? And why do people suffer from it today? Both Psychology Today and Wikipedia estimate that the number of people who suffer from alexithymia is around 10%.
Again with Wikipedia? Why are we even listening to this guy?
I don't know, it's not like it's an academic journal, it's just TV.
If it's TV, then why is he so fucking boring? He's talking like he's David Attenborough, but he's not. There needs to be a bit more pizzazz. It's TV, so maybe some blackjack and hookers.
Well, when I was reading through Wikipedia, I found something interesting, and it was a term called normative male alexithymia, which is basically a type of alexithymia that stems from toxic masculinity, since men actively have to suppress certain emotions, such as sadness or vulnerability. And this type of alexithymia isn't exclusive to just men. Women are taught to suppress emotions as well, since they're expected to look happy. I mean, one of the phrases that older men often say to younger women is, "You should smile more often." This suppression of emotion sort of ties back into our earlier discussion of mental modes. In this case, we're looking at a mental model where people have an expectation for others to never be sad or angry. In turn, the emotion associated with this expectation becomes warped, and the person can't fully express themselves. It is my personal belief that toxic masculinity for both sexes is what contributed to the widespread alexithymia in the mid-20th century, and this same expectation and internet usage plagues the 21st century.
Wait, so he says that it's his belief, but he won't provide any evidence to back it up.
So maybe you don't have alexithymia, or maybe you do. Or maybe you have something else. Or maybe you have nothing. Or maybe alexithymia doesn't really exist. Who knows? Maybe it'll be disproven later. At the end of the day, there's not one video or article or journal that's going to have any real answers for you. If you want answers, the best and first place to go to is your local medical professional.
So, you think any of that relates to you?
I don't know. Video didn't sound too scholarly. Just sounds like some weirdo who googled some shit, like he had a free afternoon or something.
But don't you think you ought to at least see someone about this, just to confirm?
My copay is like $50, so probably not.
Damn, that's kinda high.
Yeah, and that was just for the doctor's visit. Like, I don't know how much therapy is going to cost, or even if I have anyone in network.
Why is it so high?
I kinda fucked up. I don't know how to shop for plans, if I'm being honest.
Jesus, so it might be even higher than that?
Yeah, maybe.